Welcome to your June 14th to June 20th, 2021 tarot. I am still doing the weekly readings for now. Things are kind of picking up here. I'm kind of getting down to the crunch with my house renovations and needing to get my house on the market ASAP. And I have obviously a huge list of things to do, and they're not getting any shorter. And now that the stores have partially opened up, I am actually able to go to the stores and get the stuff that I need, especially if I need something like a different set of screws. You know, like when you're hanging a light and the ones that come with the light are just not quite long enough. I love the fact that the hardware stores are open now and I can go and deal with some of this stuff. So going to do something very similar with what I've been doing the last few weeks, and that is using an oracle deck, and we are going to use the Lenormand Tarot, or the Lenormand Oracle, Lenormand Tarot. I've heard them be called both. And then for the tarot portion of the reading, we're going to use the Crow Tarot. I've got a family of crows nested in my neighbor's backyard, and they are starting to live up to more of a Loki pest type energy, but I believe that is because the little ones are starting to get bigger, therefore they are getting noisier. With the Lenormands, I have done a very good pre-shuffle, but I'm not going to sit here and shuffle them regularly because they can be very finicky and take a long period of time, and these weekly videos do take a little bit extra time. So instead, I've done the pre-shuffle. I'm going to use my left hand because that is the hand that we receive through, and that doesn't apply solely for tarot. That applies also for meditations. And I know that with meditations, if you use certain hand positionings, like your fingers like this, they all mean something different, and you are tapping into the different areas of your body when you use the different hand positions. I am far from an expert or knowledgeable about any of that, but if it does interest you, I do suggest you look that kind of stuff up. I actually have a book called Chakras for Dummies, and the little bits of it that I've actually had a chance to look at and read, super knowledgeable. I'm really liking the book. I love the way it's laid out. I love the language and terminology it uses. So that is a good one for you if you are just diving into chakras, meditations, and all of that fun stuff. I just split the deck into 3 piles with my left hand because, like I said, this is where you receive. That applies for meditations as well as spiritual messages. When you do cutting the deck this way, you do not have to put them back in any specific order. And what I am going to do is I'm taking off the bottom of the deck. So the first deck that we have, I am going to go each day of the week. So that means pulling 7 cards. Now remember, the Lenormand has the playing card in the corner. I will show you what they are. I am going to do this intuitively, not necessarily read from the book, just because I find it comes across as unprofessional. And even though it's a great way for me to learn, it forces me to learn the meaning through the book. I just don't feel like it is something that I want in my videos. If I'm going to learn the deck, I'm just going to have to go back to reading and using these cards, reading for myself and getting a feel for how they apply for me and what the book has to say. And that goes for anybody else who is learning tarot. You don't have to go exactly by the book. You can go by your gut when it comes to it. But the playing cards, back to the Lenormands, they have a yes, no, maybe no, and just a straight up neutral, could go either way. It's a wild card type energy. And again, I'm not going to bother looking those up. I'm just going to go off of the feeling of the card and what the playing card in the corner go off of. So Monday, we have the bouquet. Now the bouquet, I am familiar with this card, and it is actually a very lovely card. You may be receiving a gift, or you may just be enjoying very loving, very giving type energy. Now on Monday for your yes or no with the Queen of Spades, I believe this is a strong neutral to yes. So whatever questions you might have on Monday, you might be feeling a little bit unsure, but it is leaning towards more of a positive outcome simply because the bouquet is an extremely positive card. And this is a good thing because last week was a banger of a week, literally for us here where I live, because we were just constant thunderstorms and major thunderstorms too. And speaking of thunderstorms, that's what's Tuesday. This is actually clouds. And this may tie in a little bit more and give us a little more clarity as to what's coming in on Wednesday as well. But we had thunderstorms, lightning and thunderstorms all week. And then we had that massive new moon and eclipse Thursday, Friday. We are still going to be feeling a lot of that residual energy into this week coming up. Now with the clouds, I know this looks like an ominous type card. We have the Ace of Clubs, which is one of those really neutral cards. It could go either way. And Tuesday's energy is kind of feeling that way with the clouds. Now I do feel like there is a bit of a, with these two together, actually, sorry, they go this way. Monday, Tuesday. We have a very kind of peaceful, calm energy on Monday. On Tuesday, we feel like things may be a little bit more rocky, but at the same time, the energy that is coming in is the Child with the Jack of Spades, which is very similar to the Queen of Spades. It's a bit of a neutral maybe to a maybe yes. So there is some positive energy here. So with this trio of cards the way they are, the Lenormand is very much influenced as to what precedes it. So Tuesday, even though we're feeling like things may be a little bit shaky or uncertain, there may be more thunderstorms on the horizon in your literal atmospheric pressure, but know that it's not necessarily bad energy. It's more of a neutral. Sorry, this is the King of Clubs. I thought it was an ace. The King of Clubs is a neutral maybe to a no. And that's maybe, oh, I hate using the maybe. I come from a region that has a lot of French that has merged with English. We call it franglais. And it is a perfectly acceptable answer for someone to ask, are you coming to an event? And your response be, maybe. And I've had a number of people outside of my region who want to know, what does that mean? It means maybe yes, maybe no. Am I coming? Maybe. It's amusing, apparently, to people who are not familiar with the franglais way of speaking. But this maybe no is likely what is causing a little bit of inner turmoil, because it isn't a definite no, it's a maybe no. There's a lot of masculine type energy behind it. Now with the Child coming in on Wednesday, this is a rather happy card. There's a little bit of carefree energy. The little girl's happy. She's chasing her butterfly. She's got her cute little Westie there beside her. This card is giving me huge Six of Cups vibes. We are still in Mercury retrograde for another week, and we may be having people coming back from our past, whether they are coming in terms of a test to see if our boundaries are holding up, or if they are coming back to just relive fond memories. There's a lot of happiness and joy that is coming in with it. And like I said, the Jack of Spades It's a neutral to a maybe yes. So this is giving you a little bit more hope, a little bit of a more joyous outlook, maybe even a little bit more of a youthful outlook. Now on Thursday, we've got the book. Now the book, this is a very interesting card because this is one of those you need to see what is right behind it and what comes next to get a proper definition as to what this card means. Now this book holds knowledge. It also holds the next chapter. So if you are looking at moving forward or moving or making really big changes, whatever way that the book is opening, so when I put the card down, the next card that comes up, and I'm already looking at it, I love it, and I think I have to do them together because they are both diamonds as well. So on Friday we have the key. And I do like how this is shaping up. Wednesday, something from our past is going to help us define what comes next. And in this book holds the knowledge that we are going to be unlocking with the key on Friday. And this knowledge and the key that we're unlocking is going to work together because we may be receiving a message on Saturday. Now, I don't know where you are. We don't get mail delivery on Saturday, but if you do, you may get an actual letter. If not, it just may be a message, an email, a text, a phone call. If you do spiritual downloads, if you do meditations, you may be getting your answer and your message come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but it's knowledge that you may already have within you with this energy that we see on Wednesday. So if you've been really up in the air when it comes to what comes next for you, what is the next phases, this weekend is looking like a lot of really good energy coming in order to get your answers. Now, with the diamonds, they do have a tendency to lean towards more of a definitive yes. Tens are also the end of a cycle in the tarot, and I am kind of picking up that with this book, you're not shutting the book. The book has yet to be opened, but it is being shut to things in the past that keep coming up and bringing up negative energies. 7 of spades, I almost called it clubs. 7 of spades does also talk about a neutral. It's just a neutral. It's not necessarily a yes or a no. It does lean a little bit more towards positive, particularly because this letter has the key right before it, and we have more of a yes card before it. Just beware. Ooh. I will do a quick rundown of these cards as well once we kind of get through the days of the week. We are unlocking a lot of knowledge. We're shutting the door on the past. Tuesday is just a lot of uncertainty. We don't necessarily know what's coming. This letter also is letting us know that we're moving in the right direction, or if we need to make a sharp left turn. Now on Sunday, beware, we've got the sneaky, wily fox. There could be some devious energy at play or devious, deceptive behavior. This is the 7 of Swords type energy if you want to equate it to the traditional tarot. And with the 9 of clubs, this is a no, this is a negative. This is definitely a negative card. So keep your eye open for that. Be wary for it. If this is somebody coming back from your past, watch out for their motives. Why are they coming back? Especially if they haven't been around for a while and they're just suddenly making an appearance, especially once you have received this message. If this is a positive message, which I do feel it is, this is what's opening up the next chapter. and you are going to want to shut the door on devious behavior. Now, what also goes with this box is we do have the mice that follows it. So this is anxiety and worry. If this person comes back from the past and they were deceptive in the past, be wary. You have a right to be nervous around them. Just don't let the anxiety chew at you too much, because your ships are coming in. This is, again, energy coming towards you, and it is doing so with love. Some luck with the clover. And off the very bottom of the deck, it's going to help anchor you in the long run. Now I'm going to clear those extra ones, and let's get into the meat and potatoes, the tarot, the ones that I'm more familiar with, the ones that I like doing better. I do some astrology, I do birth charts, but I am going to be straight up honest, I'm not a huge fan of doing them. I am much more comfortable and happy with the tarot and oracle cards, even though the oracle cards are ones that I'm really just more recently being pulled to use. So let's get a couple tarot cards. Like I said, these are the Crow Tarot, and we'll get a couple tarot cards for each one of the day of the week. So let's clarify the bouquet. Now, cosmically speaking, we have a relatively easy week. We're still kind of getting through that eclipse energy. That book eclipses are always bookended with 2. Sorry, I just bumped my table here. They're book-ended, and they are showing you what chapters and books need to be closed so that you can move forward. And that may be where your messages and downloads are coming, is through the residual energy of this eclipse, and we will be feeling it for some time. And the closing of chapters is what is going to be helping us figure things out for the next year. Okay, so we have the 3 of Cups. This is a celebration. There's something that's very happy that's worth celebrating here on Monday. Maybe you're moving, maybe you're just leaving something that you used to have an emotional attachment to behind, and that in itself is a cause for celebration, because good possibility you have seen or are seeing karma at play and being restored, and that's enough to make you break out the bubbly. I know for me it sure would. Oh, I know karma is in play in my situation, and just knowing that karma is at play makes me a very happy camper. But there could be a resolution here, and that is why you are able to leave this emotional attachment behind. The scales are being balanced, energy is being balanced. Now, Justice card, this is a major arcana, as is the World card. It's the end of a cycle. And this in itself is enough reason to celebrate. I'm feeling like I need to put these back in the deck. I don't know why. I have a funny feeling we're going to see those cards again. Now, as you saw, I did not put them back on top of each other. But Monday, really good energy. Take a breath, relax, smell the flowers. I don't know where you are, but the lilacs here, they are starting to die off, but they are recently in bloom, and the air has been so thick with the smell of lilacs, so please enjoy the flowers on Monday. Now on Tuesday, what are these clouds about? Now these clouds, they are also moving out, this stormy type energy for you. It's moving out, it's not staying. That stopping and smelling the flowers, it's something that we're leaving behind us. And that is the 8 of Cups energy as well. I told you we were going to see these cards again. There's the 3 of Cups. There's still more celebrating going on. Page of Pentacles. This could be your message coming up with your letter energy. But the Page of Pentacles is you're working on a skill and you're working towards something that you've been fighting for. There's been a lot of conflict over, and you've questioned your skills. You may be unsure of your skills. So is there anything else for Tuesday? Strength. This is Major Arcana card of Leo. This is your inner strength, and I do believe that we saw this card coming out in the eclipse reading that I did. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. That energy is going to be in play for some time. Now, it may take a lot of strength to get through some of this eclipse energy. It may also take a lot of strength to get through just some of the negative type energy that is swirling around on Tuesday. But know that you can be very strong. You can be that anchor. You can be that pillar of strength without being overbearing, overshadowing, using excessive amounts of force. As you can see in this card, the raven or the crow is controlling the lion with gentle pressure, and the lion looks pretty happy with all the flowers around him. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Swords. This is definitely the break that you've been needing. Oh, Tower card on the bottom. The Tower card did come out with the eclipse reading, and the Magician on the bottom. So you're creating and wanting this energy to change, and Tuesday may be when you're having your Tower moment. Maybe this is when you see things playing out and it shakes you that it's actually playing out. But with the Magician energy, because the Tower and the Magician are both major arcanas, it's kind of a clearing out so that the things that you've been trying to call in and bring in and manifest have a chance to get cleared away in this major storm. Now, it may be a shit storm or look like a shit storm on the surface, but it's only for a single day, and then you can look back on it quite quickly, and do so with a favorable light. Now let's clarify the Child. It didn't fall out. That was the High Priestess, by the way. So let's see. I'm going to lose my ring. Let's clarify the Child for Wednesday. Wednesday's energy. So while I get the cards, like I was saying, we're still feeling the eclipse energy from the end of last week. It is going to start waning over the course of the next little while, this next week coming up specifically. We do have a number of cards here. But it's relatively quiet otherwise in the cosmos. We do have a couple of retrogrades coming up, but that's not till next week. Mercury retrograde, by the end of the week, it is going to almost be ready to be turning direct, which everybody is going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief and say, thank God, because this retrograde has been affecting almost everybody I know. Every tarot reader, my friends, everybody's like, oh, what's going on? Well, it's Mercury retrograde. And then we had the eclipse on top of it. So it's a lot. And with this energy on Wednesday, we are picking up what is left after the battle with the Five of Swords. We've got more balance coming in with the Star card. This is Major Arcana card of Aquarius, which is quite coincidental because Saturn is currently in retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. And what that is doing is the planet of responsibility and discipline. When it's in retrograde, it's not quite as strict, but with it being in the sign of Aquarius, it does relax ever so slightly, and it will be in retrograde until October. And then next week, we do have Jupiter going retrograde, and it is going to be going retrograde into the sign of Aquarius as well. It won't be in Aquarius right at the beginning of the retrograde. It will be more so once it goes fully retrograde, which that energy will be felt in July. And that is when hopes and dreams and wishes can start coming true, because the planet of growth, luck, and expansion gets to kind of breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, because Dad, the Saturn retrograde, is also going to be a little more relaxed. The energy of Jupiter is not going to be quite as freewheeling as it can be or likes to be, but it will be a bit of a not so jarring and disruptive type energy. Now, next week, we also have Neptune going retrograde, which is going to help clear some of the cobwebs and the illusions that we've been putting up. If we've been looking at something or a situation with rose-colored glasses, it's going to remove that rose tint, and we're going to be able to start seeing things in a much clearer manner. But we are getting that balance coming in. We have the Seven of Wands, which is talking about being defensive. They're throwing themselves off the cliff to almost die on their swords. But the King of Pentacles is coming in, so there's reward for hard work. And there's going to be a lot of messages or energy kind of moving around, clearing around on Wednesday. On the bottom of the deck, we do have the Sun, Major Arcana, also talking about ending of cycles, but this is happy ending of cycles. Things are clearing out. There's the World card. These are the last two cards of the Major Arcana, and it's completion, it's joy, it's happiness. There's a lot of reason to celebrate. We do have the King of Swords coming into play, so decisions are being made. There is the Chariot on the very bottom. Again, Major Arcana, talking about movement and moving forward. So we are leaving the past behind. There is a lot of moving energy coming in. As you can see, I am splitting up the cards. Zip them back. There seems to be a lot of completion here. Whatever things we have started, let's clarify the book. Whatever things we have started that needed to be closed off and put in the past and put back in the past and into our childhoods, we're putting that to rest. Maybe possible traumas and whatnot from our childhoods. They are, they're being able to be compartmentalized. We're able to put them away and reflect on them with a childlike joy and wonder. We may be going out and exploring with childlike joy and wonder for a little bit if the weather cooperates, but at the same time, there's a need to put it to rest and to put it to bed and to put it behind us, because I know for me, my childhood was quite a long time ago. So it's time to start leaving that stuff behind. And the people who have not wanted to support me or move forward or progress with me, well, they're going to become part of what I end up leaving behind, because you have to be progressive and keep moving forward or you become stagnant. My friend Judy posted something about sometimes you have to leave your hometown and your hometown people because they don't want to see you leave. They don't want to see you move and grow and move away from them, whether that is just in your maturity, your viewpoints, your opinions, or to actually see you succeed by going somewhere else. They want you to stay the way you are for their own purposes. And if they don't want you around in a healthier form or in a more progressive form, then they're doing it because they're greedy or they have other reasons, like they get a kick out of seeing you struggle. So you do want to leave those behind if that is what is playing out. Now we do have the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords. So some of the decision making that we were making on Wednesday, you know what? If you did not make your decision, you will have to be on Thursday. And you're doing so with a touch of care for it. Normally the King of Swords comes in, he's the executioner, he just makes his decision and moves on. He doesn't care what you think or how you're feeling about it. He just makes his decision. But with the Queen of Cups energy with it, it's softening the blow. You are able to do so with grace and gentleness and care. And you're not just coming in and cutting somebody's head off or biting somebody's head off if you're Ozzy Osbourne and you're bad. But there's still some of that picking up the pieces, trying to figure out what from the past are you going to carry forward into the opening of this new chapter in your life? Because remember, we do have the book, and then there's that star. So whatever you have been hoping and wishing and dreaming for, keep doing it. Whatever from the past you actually got something constructive from, or that you do truly care about, then you can carry that forward with you. Only if it's healthy and is going to help propel you into achieving a little bit more of a balance or a grounded feeling, where maybe yes, you were feeling like you were free falling like a waterfall. Maybe you were already grounded and needed to release yourself so that you can float up to the sky for a little bit. There's a lot of maybes going on. And these maybes, where's that King of Swords? Those maybes have to turn into a yes or no. So I do strongly recommend on Thursday sitting down and making a list of what decision do you need to make. Write out the pros, write out the cons, and if you need to meditate on it, but make those decisions. Off the very bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Wands. This is a message that is coming in with you or to you with the Page of Wands, and it's going to be calling out to you. And then we've got the Ace of Cups on the top of the deck. So there is a renewal of love, or maybe a new offer of love, depending on what you're looking for. You're filling your cup, and then we've got the Eight of Wands again, coming in to help bring in a lot of very good energy and clearing out that old stagnant energy. We're closing the chapter on our past, and we're moving forward and getting ready to open something new. Let's clarify the key on Friday. And I also just noticed in this card, not only is the key front and center, there's a door opening behind it. This is your new chapter. I love how the book and the key and the letter are coming out all together. We're unlocking that door, that new opportunity that is coming in. We again have the Strength card on the bottom of the deck, Major Arcana card. We're not being overbearing, we're not being overpowering, we are not overshadowing, we are actually enjoying being in our strength. We may even be moving into something that we feel very comfortable in, that brings a lot of stability and is giving us a lot of options that we have to make a decision on. Now, there's the King of Swords. That's 3 days in a row. It has an effect on the cards. You are going to have to make a decision on all of these options that are swirling around you and find the one that is going to bring you the most stability. It may take some strength to make this decision, but at the same time, you have to stand in your strength once you do make that decision and stand by your decision. So with the key, we have the unlocking of knowledge and wisdom. We have the Hierophant, Major Arcana card of Taurus. It's masculine energy. It is quite spiritual, has a lot of religious connotations to it. And this is, as you can see, there's a key right here. So we've got a couple of keys here. So there's an unlocking of a lot of knowledge and wisdom with both the key and the Hierophant. This is actually very similar energy. Two separate decks, guys. I can't make this up. So we may have to stand strong in our convictions, stay committed. The Hierophant is also very committed, often relating to marriage, which if that is what you are looking for, you do have the Two of Cups coming in. And the Two of Cups talks about partnerships, relationships. To me, the Two of Cups is a romantic card. So for those of you in a romantic situation, you may be getting serious with your love. You may be making a commitment. For those of you who've been in a long-term relationship or something long-term, you may be deciding to take that next step. Now, whether that is a proposal, hey, on a Friday, that would be perfect, especially on a summer Friday, right before the summer solstice. Those of us here in the Northern Hemisphere, we get the longest day of the year. And where I live, we get almost 14 hours of daylight on the summer solstice, which is Sunday, which is also Father's Day here in Canada. But then we've got the Page of Cups. So if you are already committed, this is just a renewal of that love, that joy that you have for your other half. And if you are not committed or in a relationship, it is just you digging in and refilling your own cup, whether that is just doing things that you really enjoy. You make your decision where you've got your strengths out on full display and the good feelings are overflowing. I'm surprised the Ace of Cups isn't out, but you're going to be very committed to what this is that is unfolding and being unlocked for you. And I love it. Oh, remember I said stagnation? Was surprised we hadn't seen the Hanging Man. He is hanging around. He's hanging around here in the background. Very bottom of the deck. If you don't make this decision, which it's looking like by Friday, you may have, if you haven't made that decision, you may be losing out on your opportunity depending on what's happening for you. Yeah, there's your message. We're getting out of that stuckness. Healing our wounds. We're working hard. Even though we have a lot of anxiety about doing this, there's the Lovers, the World card again. We're moving out of this really stuck energy. It feels, for me, it feels like moving through quicksand or trying to live in quicksand and be productive. And that just, it's an oxymoron. You can't stay doing the same old things time and time again in the same old ways and being indecisive. You're going to stay in that hanging man position, which is being in suspended animation and waiting around. Now, if you do change your perspective on a few things, the decisions do become a lot clearer. Now, on Saturday, let's move on to the letter. What are these messages? What is this message? What is this letter about on Saturday? We've got some Swords energy, and Swords is air energy. I feel like there's one more. Okay, more than one more. There is a lot of Swords energy here. Okay, Hangman in reverse did come out. So this message that we receive on Saturday is going to help get us out of this stuck energy. It is the end of a painful cycle with the Ten of Swords, the Queen of Swords. Very smart. We're putting our brains to use here. We are making a decision. It's not quite as harsh as the King of Swords, but she rules with a bit of an iron fist, and you are going to have to take a stand when it comes to this. Even though you are quite defensive, we did see this energy with the Seven of Wands earlier this week where you're quite defensive about this decision that you're making, and people may try to, especially people from your past, maybe trying to change your mind and keep you chained or trapped with the Eight of Swords. Now, the one good thing with the Eight of Swords is that you can get out of this. You are not stuck. You are not trapped. It is just a frame of mind. So you can get yourself out of it. And it's a good idea if you do, because there's the Sun card. I do believe we saw this card on Monday and a little bit again on Tuesday. It's coming back around on Saturday. And I really strongly feel once you make this decision and decide to go for it and free yourself from this trapped energy, not only is it completion and the ending of a cycle, it is going to lead you to a lot more happiness, because you are going to be able to continue working on your skills that are so very near and dear to you. And these skills may actually end up enhancing or increasing or being useful in your workplace. Now, if you're like me, workplace, that's where I have a lot of decisions to make. As many of you know, I left my former workplace being a police officer. I was a police officer for 15 years, and that was as a fully sworn police officer. And if you don't know what being a police officer is or what a police officer does, just imagine all of those times where you would be like, I wonder where the police are in this situation. Guess what we're doing? We're dealing with those situations. When you call 911 and ask for the police, guess who's showing up? It's the police. So those are situations I did deal with, and there are stuff that I dealt with as a police officer, and not just a female police officer, but just in general policing. Police officers purposely do not talk about a lot of what they do. We have a lot of skills that are transferable, even though a lot of employers or prospective employers can't see it, even if you point it out to them. I carry a lot of things with me and probably will for the rest of my life because of being a police officer. And that was something that I signed up for. That was part of the job description, even though nobody talks about it. I carry that stuff so that the majority of you don't, and that you don't have to, and that it's so you don't know what the police do. We do have a tower energy kind of in the background here, and I hope to God, for those of you who don't know what the police do, I hope you never do. I honestly hope you never know what the police really do, because you could end up in a tower moment where it really shakes your foundation. If you really want to know some of the horrible details as to why I left policing and why I hope you guys never know what police officers do. If you want to know, you could end up in a tower moment. If you really honestly want to know, I'll tell you, but it's gruesome and it can be quite disturbing. And for those of us who are in law enforcement or emergency, and this is all emergency responders, whether it is the emergency room, paramedics, firefighters, police officers, Coast Guards, military. Even though people don't consider military to be first responders, they are the ultimate first responders. Ask. You're not going to really want to know, and you may regret actually asking. But there is tower energy coming in here on Saturday, and I do feel this is linked to the energy coming in on Sunday. We are going to put this card back, but we're going to look a little bit more, do a quick rundown as to what this could be. This is something, the tower energy followed by the chariot could be causing you to move forward, move on, leave things behind, literally move. It's something you've been committed to. Yeah, there's the Judgment card. It's calling us into action and to take action where we've been stagnant. We're waiting for the answers for our ships to come in. There's partnerships coming in. We may have to kind of rule. This is Saturn energy here with the Emperor. Rule with a bit of an iron fist. Remember those thunderstorms I was talking about from last week? The skies just started to get super dark. It's only about 7 o'clock here right now, and I'm going to have to turn on some lights, which, like I said earlier, we're almost at the summer solstice. It's light out until 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So I shouldn't have to turn on the lights at this time of the day. Stay committed to your cause. Whatever it is, keep working on it. I'm trying to split up these major arcanas here. Keep working towards it. Stand your ground. Don't let other people, particularly those from the past that are trying to keep you stuck in the past, and they may want you to stay stuck in the past because they themselves are afraid to move forward and they don't want to be left behind. There's a huge fear of being left behind by a lot of people, especially those who have never gone out and tried anything new. The new is scary. The world is bad, and it really isn't. There's a lot of stuff in this world that does need to change, but it's not necessarily bad. Now on Sunday, we do have this sneaky wily fox. Remember, we've got the mice that is causing some anxiety about this. So let's clarify the fox for Sunday. Let's clarify the fox. He does seem to be enjoying his kill. He does have a peasant here that he killed. There's that Emperor again on the bottom of the deck. We may have to light a fire under our own asses and get motivated and do the work ourselves and do the hard work ourselves. Be disciplined in it, in your routine. You're still nurturing stuff that is coming forward. Okay. So the wily fox, we have the 5 of Pentacles here, which has this feeling a lot of lack. And it's feeling lack and feeling like something's been stolen from us. Here we are feeling trapped again, only this time we're seeing our way out. We are getting out of that trapped vibe on Sunday. We are cutting our losses, even though we are looking at needing to make some decisions. With the 2 of Swords and the 8 of Swords together, they're both blindfolded, but with the 8 of Swords energy over here, we're cutting our way out of our imprisonment, our bindings, things that are restricting us. We're cutting ourselves free, and by doing that, we are going to be able to see what lies ahead, what our options are, and how we move ahead. Normally with the Moon card, this is things that are being hidden out of view from us or information that has yet to be revealed. With the 8 of Swords in reverse, we're seeing things. We're gaining a lot of clarity. And I do strongly feel this has to do with Neptune going retrograde. It also has a lot to do with the letter and the key and the book that we saw on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're gaining our traction, we're gaining our footing. We are able and we are ready to put the hard work in and nurture what need to be nurtured in order to move ahead. We are gaining, like I said, a lot of clarity. We are seeing what has been hidden out of view, what people's motives are. And we've got the 3 of Cups again, 3rd time this week. You saw me shuffle the cards. You saw me put these cards away, not in the same order. So we do have something that is wanting us to get together with those that we love, and things where I'm at, we are in a phase of opening up, and whatever we decide, make decisions on, once we gain that clarity and we make that decision, it's going to be a reason to celebrate. We've got the 4 of Wands talking about stability, happy home. Queen of Cups, more nurturing, caring, loving. Queen of Cups, creative, intuitive, and also usually depicted as pregnant. Now, I did get this earlier today about somebody having a difficult pregnancy. It's nobody that I know offhand, but you could be, if you are pregnant, you could be having a difficult pregnancy right now. That's just for like 1 or 2 people, very small, select few. But whatever it is that you've been needing to make a decision on, this is something you've been nurturing and feeding into for a while, and you are ready to birth that. You've got the help of people around you with the 3 of Pentacles. We've got the 6 of Cups. This is the energy from Wednesday. This is something from the past coming back, but only this time we're looking back at it with fondness, as there's the King of Cups. We're taking a bit of a stand. We're being in touch with our emotions. We're being true, nurturing, but we're striking out on our own, feeling a little bit independent here and a little sassy pants with the 9 of Pentacles. We're wanting to spend that time alone while we continue to work hard towards our goals. Now with the Knight of Pentacles, that is slow moving energy, but I mean, look at the Raven. Look at him. He's proud. He's got that pentacle in his beak. He's already got his goal. He gets there. He finishes. He crosses the finish line. He finishes the race. He is successful. So keep this in mind. Keep plugging away. Keep working away. Knight of Pentacles, extremely slow moving, but the only knight that gets promoted. Devil energy, I'm not feeling this as being negative. This is more of that fiery, passionate energy. Follow your passions, follow your heart, even though this is Capricorn earth energy. Follow your heart. Get motivated. Do the hard work. Do the heavy lifting. 9 of Cups, hopes, wishes, and dreams coming true. All your cups are full and overflowing. It's not quite the 10 of Cups, but you're pretty damn happy where you're at and with what you've got, or at least what is on the horizon. Ace of Swords, it's a new opportunity, which is the gift of the truth. Could be hard to hear though with that Fox energy. 6 of Swords, we're moving forward. And on the very bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles. This is warm energy, a little bit creative. It's a lot of really good energy. There could be a little bit of a rough patch on Tuesday and again on Sunday, but Sunday, there's kind of a lot coming down the pipeline because that what seems to be deceptive energy could just be something that's a little bit difficult of a truth to be swallowing, but that truth is coming through. That moon is being clarified. There's a lot of movement and a lot of moving. We have both the 6 of Swords and the Chariot card that has come out. Both of them indicate travel and moving. So if you're thinking about moving houses or moving jobs, Sunday could be the day when you decide that that is what you were doing. You were taking that position, you were taking that job, you're doing that application, you're putting your house up for sale. This girl knows she's putting her house up for sale, and I am going to leave it here with that. This video is almost an hour long. There is a lot going on this week, but this girl has painting and other house chores. You remember that to-do list I mentioned at the beginning of the video? It doesn't get any shorter. So I'm going to leave it here, and I will talk to you next week.